Hi, my name's Andrea Ruth, and I'm the host of today's summit, Raising Your Quantum Vibe. And I am so excited to have as a guest today Sue Stone, who is known as the happiest woman in the UK. And Sue, welcome. I am so glad to have you as a part of the summit. And I would love to know what makes you the happiest woman in the UK?
Aha! Hi, Andrea. Great to be with you here today. Well, I'm known as the happiest and positive person in the UK, or certainly lady, and I'm sure there's other people out there but to be honest, it hasn't always been this way. And some years ago, my life hit my financial and emotional rock bottom, and things got absolutely desperate. And I thought I was going to be homeless. I had so much debt, split up with my husband, with enormous debt, three young kids to bring up, no income. And it got to the point where I had literally just £10 left in my purse. So what's that? Well, it's probably just about just $10 these days, isn't it? It's almost a one-on-one. And oh my goodness me, I had forgotten what it felt like to be happy. I remember longing for those days of when I would skip through life, in that sort of naive, childish way where you don't have adult emotions or adult worries and responsibilities. And I remember thinking, my God, happiness, it's gone forever. And it was only in that moment, and I was about to be made homeless as well with my three kids, that I woke up. I just suddenly thought, how on earth has my life come to this? And whatever happened, I knew the following morning when I woke up, I thought, if I don't do something, no one else is going to do it for me. And it was then that I knew at some level I had to start reading self-help books, positive thinking books, how does life work books, how to change my life books. And I had no awareness at the time, no awareness of at all of the bigger picture and energy and quantum physics and all this stuff, but this truth of life. And to sort of briefly answer your question, it was only when I started reading and researching, and I just knew I had to keep reading, and my rational, logical thinking mind was like, I need to understand. People say you've got to be positive, but why? Why do you need to be positive? What? And I started to understand how the universe works, the energy, and that actually fundamentally, of course, it is this beautiful ancient wisdom that's been around since the beginning of time. And that, of course, what I love is that science, through quantum physics and all those studies now, backs up this ancient wisdom. But fundamentally, I just started working on myself. I made it my mission to work on myself, retrain my thinking, to shift into focusing on the good in my life and not on the lack. I was too caught in lack consciousness and in fear consciousness. And I knew there was something. And what I love also is neuroscience has proven we're not hardwired. We can literally rewrite our DNA through our thoughts. And I have totally programmed myself to think positively and grateful the whole time. And so I joke I'm not normal, but I genuinely don't get a bad day, and I haven't had for years. And I've been loving my life, getting my inner world right first, getting that inner peace, shifting my vibration, living in that vibration of love and gratitude. And of course, then it's a win-win, isn't it, really? So yeah, I have some years ago been labeled as the happy and positive person, but it's because I retrained my brain to totally be grateful for
And
everything in my life.
that's a lot of self-work right there. I know what it I know, I'm doing that on my own self daily. So what was your key moment that uh, brought you to, I mean, that's the moment of your truth that made you stand up and stand in your power and, find out what it was that you needed to do. um, how did you know, when you started your foundation, that that was your sole purpose? What drove you to decide, hey, okay, so I can do it for myself. Now I'm going to be able to do it for other people?
Well, yeah, that's a good question, Andrea, because in the beginning, I was just working on myself, being very conscious in the now. That was a big breakthrough, to learn to live in this moment and stop the thought process of worry out there or hanging on to the past out there, and be very present in the now. And in the beginning, of course, I was working on myself purely for survival. And it was only as time went by, it was a few years down the line, and obviously then my outer world had very much started to reflect. And friends used to say to me, do you know what, Sue? I really miss my Sue energy fix if I don't see you. And I used to think, God, what a nice thing to say about me. You know, bearing in mind I've always been caught in the drama and the fear, and you know, I've talked very much about my former life. And it was only one day, it was actually in 2005. I had so many friends say to me, we all think the same, Sue. You help us see life in a different way. We think you ought to be doing this. So I thought, wow, would it not be amazing if I could help other people find happiness, understand, you know, this message that we are a spiritual being having a human experience, and not to get caught in the drama. So it was in 2005, I bought the domain name SueStone.com, and thought, what do I do next? You know, the rest is history. But as it unfolded, and I realized that what I was teaching and how I was explaining things in a very simple way, it's about how to apply it into our everyday life. That's the key. A lot of people know this stuff, they read the books, they do the courses, but they know what to do, but they don't do what they know. They don't apply it in their life. And after a while, I realized what amazing results I was getting with people, the feedback, and people started to say, how can I be part of what you do? And that's when I thought, wow, this is my life mission. This is what I am here to do. So, and that was in 2011 when I set up the Sue Stone Foundation.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, and we've got people, accredited coaches have flown in from all around the world to be trained, to be part of what I do, to be part of that. You know, we know the power of the collective consciousness. You know, I feel we're all a soul group coming together, and you know, it's far greater than each individual person. Now we're all part of a great team, genuinely heart-centered people who want to make a difference in the world.
And that's the key, is bringing, you know, our prayers and our meditation into the heart, and, you know, bringing that out into our environment. I want to talk a little bit about meditation, because, you know, going into the heart to meditate and connect and expand, you know, all of your wisdom out there. How do you, tell me a little bit about your meditation practice? And I know that you've got some that you've put together as programs as well. Is that correct?
I have, well, the one meditation that I think I used to poo-poo, an English expression, poo-poo meditation years ago. You know, I didn't think it was for me at all, and how naive and sort of ignorant was I really. There's just so many benefits to meditation, but one of the ones that helped me so much is I've actually made available on my website. It's just, you know, under my products, next to nothing, to be honest, but it was very much sitting and going up in a lift, a bit like a glass lift, and lifting up and lifting up and lifting up. And it's a guided meditation that I did. And excuse me, we've got an aircraft going over. I don't know how noisy that is, but it'll pass. This too shall pass.
It's fine. I don't hear it. You're good.
Okay, that's great. That's great. It was just a small one. But no, it was about absolutely taking ourselves up, but focusing and merging into the most beautiful beings of bright light, bright white light, up wherever, you know, at different vibrations, different levels of consciousness. And it is the most powerful one. And we're connecting with our spirit guides, our spirit tutors, who can literally see the bigger picture and help us rewire our patterning. And it's proved to be hugely beneficial for me, and absolutely helping me and now thousands of others release themselves from the chains of the limiting beliefs and thoughts and conditioning and programming that holds people back. And so just that in that alone is the most empowering. It's sort of expanding our consciousness and just expanding it further and further. And that has helped me so much, I have to say.
I would agree with you. Meditation, I believe, is the key. And I heard you talk on some of your videos about how it really taps you into your intuition. And, you know, that's where the answers come from, to be able to take the action and do the right thing. So, you know, I really appreciate when I hear, especially what you're talking about, how powerful it is and it is helping you. You know what I'd like to do is have you explain a little bit about your spiritual growth that led you to the keys of accessing your higher quantum power, your higher quantum vibration.
I think it's been a sort of steady progress really for me. It was very much in the beginning just working on my thinking. But as I researched further, put it into practice, as my vibration shifted, and working very much more with the intuitive mind rather than the rational mind, and tapping in, using all these resources, using things like Ho'oponopono, which, do you know about Ho'oponopono?
Yes.
You know, I thought you would, but I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you. All these different techniques of understanding that if we can live in a vibration of love and gratitude, that is the highest vibration we can live in. Of course, we become more intuitive. You know, we're lessening the gap between the different levels, aren't we? And what I love is that, as Albert Einstein said, your intuitive mind is the gift, your rational mind and your analytical mind is the servant. But of course, what humanity has created is a society that honors the servant and not the gift. And I think too many people at a human level, I was guilty in the past, trying to analyze and rationalize and logically think through all these things. Whereas if only we could tap into the, you know, the higher power, to what I would call at a human level, work smart, not hard. So, you know, it is about living in that vibration of love and gratitude. And, you know, there's huge amounts of techniques, but it's been, you know, a good, steady, amazing journey. And I love, and I think just quickly, with the way the energies are now and the fifth dimensional energies, you know, it's about being. You know, the old paradigm of the third dimensional world is like a different operating system where it was push, push, push. We've got to work hard. We've got to work hard. It's a numbers game, whereas now very much it's about being, not doing. It's that energy we're in, the way we're feeling. And if we can get to a default state of being, of thriving, that is when life comes to us rather than us having to chase life.
Very well said. I mean, right on point there. So, you know, what I'd like to know is, for instance, if, like right now, we're going through a lot of earth changes and we're having a lot of energy come in. It really is here to upgrade us in our consciousness and our DNA. You were talking about DNA earlier. And a lot of people are going through things. They're going through hardships like they haven't done before. Do you get anybody in as a client, I'm sure you have, that are going through what we call ascension? It's where they are peeling away the layers of their life, trying to find out, okay, this doesn't work for me anymore. Where do I go? What do I do? Tell us a little bit about how you would help someone who's going through something to that effect. Because we have people that are going through fast ascension, lots of changes on every level. Then we have some that are going slowly through some changes. And then we have others that are, you know, nothing, they're not aware of the changes. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I totally agree with you. I've worked with so many people now, and just one thing though, as someone here to help others, I just trust that I attract into my life the people that I can help, because of course there's a number of people, each with their own unique gift to offer in doing their bit. But how I deal with it, there are more and more people waking up. There are more and more people with everything, as we can very easily see. It's clear as day, all this uncertainty being created, and the people that are not embracing the change and are getting into more challenges, and they're stuck in the fear, they're stuck in the drama. But I'm finding more and more that it's people are thinking there's got to be more to life than this. But what I do, and I think because I had such a former life where I had no understanding of the energy and that we get more of what we focus on, and vibration and the universe and the laws and even the conscious and the subconscious mind. I just went through life, I sound rather ignorant, don't I now? But I had such a former life and such a latter life. And I'm not trained in any of this. All I've done is work on myself and study and research. But when somebody first came and said to me, can I come and see you for one-to-one? I was like, yeah. And I thought, what do I do? And I thought, hang on a minute, Sue, you just teach people what you've done, make them aware of how powerful their thoughts are, how we create our experience. I now, as my work's developed and expanded, of course, I can improve on that, and telling them about how it works with quantum physics, how we create our reality. And I think when we explain it in a very simple way, and that's, I have to keep it simple, then people understand it, I understand it. It makes it so obvious, that we've got to do something. And I always feel people come and see me because they're taking that one step to take responsibility, that at some level, and that's always a tricky thing when you have to say to people that at some level you are totally responsible for everything going on in your life. But so I deal with it all very much in the same way, but I find that, and then I give people the tools how to apply it into your everyday life. We deal with lots of letting go techniques like EFT, Ho'oponopono, tapping the thymus gland, all these different techniques that are a shortcut to healing. And the importance of identifying the negative and self-limiting thoughts and beliefs that you're having that are holding you back. So I keep it very practical, that how to apply these things in one's everyday life. But obviously, depending on what stage they're at, is to what language I use, if you understand. I use language that people would understand, but if I'm talking to a more spiritual group or whatever, then of course we can start talking at different levels of ascension and that type of thing. Does that make sense?
Yes, that's wonderful. I'm so glad you explained that, because there are so many different types of people going through different types of things. So when I was looking at your website, it looks like you have a different coach for each little thing that somebody's going through.
Well, a lot of them have chosen to specialize in certain areas. I find my work, I keep it very broad. I get people literally from all walks of life, all backgrounds, but fundamentally it's still applying the same fundamental rules or stuff or way of living into the life. And it's just that different people have different challenges. I've done it all. I have done it all. So, and to come out the other side living this amazing, healthy, beautiful, blissful life, every day I'm just hugely grateful. And I really think my biggest key to anybody listening is, if we can embrace what is, embrace the now, and focus on being the best version of you, that, as I would say, be the greatest and most exciting version of you in each moment, life flows. It becomes effortless. But obviously there's stuff that we perhaps need to work on, letting go of past traumas, which is hugely important. And that's a really important thing that I focus on, helping people do that, and giving them some tools to work on themselves when they've been with me.
Wonderful. Well, this is a short video, so we could talk all day about this, because I'm right with you on everything you're talking about. Sue, would you tell us a little bit about what you've got? I think there's a program that you've put together, or you've got some things coming up you'd like to share with us.
Well, one thing I thought, we've proven with neuroscience and all sorts of things that we can actually retrain our brain within anything between 14 and 42 days, and up to 6 weeks if we really work on ourselves. So from some of my videos that I've available, I've put together a special 6-week video program explaining all the stuff that I've applied, just short videos for, as a gift to anyone who should wish to, find out a bit more. But it just goes through all the different things that I learned, how I did it, how I applied it in my life. And yeah, I'm delighted to be able to offer that over.
Fabulous. Thank you so much for being generous with that. You're going to help a lot of people. So, well,
no,
Sue,
absolutely pleasure. Thank you.
Oh, it's been so wonderful. And the planes did not come back over, so we're good on that. So I really appreciate you taking your time to be a part of this summit, and everything that you said is just right on target, how to raise people's quantum vibration. So thank you again, Sue, and you have a wonderful day.
Thank you so much, Andrea, for inviting me.